guys, Lucas Sacco here. Over the past 2 weeks or so, I've consistently topped with this Snake Eye deck. I topped the Remote Duel Regional, I topped Little Rock, Arkansas, I got second place at Houston. All of these big top 8s with the pure Snake Eye deck. And I wanted to do a little bit of an updated combo tutorial for this deck, as the deck has really changed over the past couple of weeks since Vegas. And it much has a better structure to it, and the combos have evolved a lot more, so I want to show that off. This is the basic 1-card combo. This is when you draw Snake Eye Ash and 4 hand traps, just a pretty average hand if you're playing against Dennis Nadas, for example. But here is a Snake Eye Ash with 4 hand traps. You normal summon Snake Eye Ash, use Snake Eye Ash effect. You're going to go ahead and add the Poplar to your hand. Trigger the Poplar effect to special summon out, and then use Poplar effect to add. And Poplar is going to add the Divine Temple of the Snake Eye to hand. Then we go activate Temple, and we place Snake Eye's Oak from deck. Snake Eye Ash, sending itself into Oak. This is where the combo plays into Ash Blossom a little bit. But if you get Ash Blossom, there's a lot of extenders that punish your opponent there. So we summon Flamberge, and we have Flamberge and Poplar. And keep in mind, this Poplar actually hasn't used its effect yet, and we're going to use that to play around Nibiru pretty flawlessly. So then we link away the Flamberge and the Poplar at one time. That lets us chain block not only our Flamberge, but it allows us to play around Nibiru, because we can go chain link 1 Flamberge, chain link 2 Poplar, targeting this Flamberge. So Flamberge is going to go back to the spell trap. We get to summon out that Oak that hasn't been summoned yet, and either a Snake Eye Ash or a Poplar, doesn't matter what you summoned. Then you use Oak's effect to summon out from graveyard. So now we have here, if we get nibbed at this point, then we'll get a token, and we can use the field spell to summon out Flamberge. Flamberge put IP in the spell trap zone, and then through nib, your 1-card combo still ended with a good amount of disruptions, right? You still have Flamberge summon out IP whenever you want, link into Little Knight, banish their guy, summon back your monsters. It's enough, right? If your only card is Snake Eye Ash, it's going to be enough to win the game. After you're here, we're going to link away either the Poplar or the Ash. It doesn't matter which one you link away. It's important that you keep the Snake Eye Oak on the field, though, into Linkuriboh. Then you're going to link Linkuriboh, IP, and Ash away into an Appaloosa for 3. And this is where you start to fully play around Nib, because now if they nib us, I mean, we're just going to Appaloosa negate it, right? So we've played around Nib, we have the negate for it, so we can get rid of this Flamberge from our spell trap zone. So we're going to use Oak effect to send the Flamberge from our spell trap zone to the graveyard to summon from deck, and that's going to summon out the second Flamberge. And we go Flamberge, put the IP in spell trap zone. So this is off the 1-card combo. You get a 3 Appaloosa, Flamberge, and IP in the spell trap with Temple. So this helps you play around Cosmic Cyclone, because you're going to trigger this to summon out the IP. Ideally, they chain Cosmic Cyclone, you chain Flamberge, you summon out the IP, and the Cosmic doesn't resolve on IP because it's no longer a spell trap zone, it's a different card. You have Appaloosa with 3 negates, you have the IP into SP, you have the SP banish, the Flamberge summon back 2, you have Oak summon back, you have Linkuriboh to tribute and protect your guys whenever you want. So this board is really, really good, and keep in mind, this is all off of 1 card. This isn't even touching the synchro plays yet, but that's the 1-card combo. Time for the 2-card combo. 2-card combos with Snake Eye Ash and Wanted. You normal summon Snake Eye Ash, use Snake Eye Ash effect to add the Poplar, and we're going to trigger the Poplar effect again. Activate Poplar effect to add, and this is where I think it's pretty important to chain Wanted if you have it here. So I put Wanted in my hand instead of Diabellstar, so I can show off the interaction of Wanted a little bit more. You want to chain it here in case they have Bell, because they're going to Bell your Wanted if they have it. And if they Bell your Wanted, then you might want to change what you search off the Poplar. So it's better that you chain here, that way you can find out as much information about what's going to happen before you add definite answers to your hand, like what you're going to search. So the Wanted's going to resolve, you're going to add Diabellstar, we're going to resolve the Poplar to add the field spell again to hand. Now we're going to link away the Poplar into Linkuriboh, which is going to trigger the Poplar to go to spell and trap. And we're going to special summon Diabellstar, sending the Poplar, and use Diabellstar effect. We are now currently at 4 summons, so we haven't quite played into Nib yet, and this is where we're going to play around Nib. Now that we've gotten Diabellstar to resolve, and we've set the original, I think it's time that we activate the field spell. And field spell is going to put the Flamberge Dragon in the spell trap zone. You wait to do the field spell to place the Flamberge until after you've resolved Diabellstar, because some people are starting to hold the Imperm until you do this play with Diabellstar, because cutting off the original is really important in the pure build. because if they're only playing with links, then they can't touch their synchro package, and you'll see how much better the board gets if you're able to touch the synchros. So now that we're here and we've protected ourselves from Nib a bit by getting this Flame Bridge in rotation, we're going to activate Original to send Linkuriboh and summon out Jet Synchron from deck. Here we're nibbable, but if our opponent nibs us, we have summon Flame Bridge, and then we can link to into IP and trigger the Flame Bridge. It's a lot that your opponent still has to deal with. So we're going to synchro these guys off into Savage, use Savage effect to then place Linkuriboh. Now we're fully safe. Once again, the nib can't hurt us anymore. We got the Savage, so we can get rid of our Flame Bridge in the Spell Trap Zone. Very similar to last time. We're going to go activate Ash, send Flame Bridge, summon Oak, and here we can chain block our Flame Bridge once again. We go Chain Link 1 Flame Bridge, Chain Link 2 Oak. You're going to summon out basically every monster that's in your graveyard. This is one thing that I've seen a lot of people start to mess up while doing this combo here. This is actually when you're supposed to synchro into Formula Synchron. And the reason you do this here, before you do anything else, is because this gets you another draw off of the Formula Synchron before you actually use Jet Effect. That way you have even more cards to choose from with what you want to discard. And having a draw before you discard is always better. That way if your hand is already good, say your hand is like Summon Limit Nib Veiler, and you want to hold all those cards, then this lets you get the draw for something like a Poplar that you can discard and make value of all your cards in the most effective way. So we're going to activate Jet Synchron, discarding a random card from our hand to special summon himself out. We're going to link away the Ash and the Oak into IP Masquerena, and then we're going to link away the Jet Synchron and IP Masquerena into Promethean Princess. We can then use Promethean Princess to summon out Oak. And keep in mind, we haven't used Oak's effect yet, so now we're going to use its effect to send itself and Promethean Princess to summon out the second Flame Bridge Dragon from deck, and use Flame Bridge Dragon to place IP. If we had Wanted, we can also use Wanted effect to put back. It's going to get us a draw for Effect Veiler, because our hand wasn't good enough, so we needed to draw Effect Veiler. And you're going to aim with something like this. It's a 1 guaranteed draw formula, plus the 3 cards you had in your hand. You're going to have 1 discard and the draw if Wanted. So you're going to end up with anywhere from 3 to 4 cards in hand, depending on if you actually open Wanted or if you open Diabellstar. And this board has so many layers of disruption with the Savage Negate and then the formula into Baron. You have the Flame Burst to summon out IP. You can use those to make an Apple if you want to. You can do a lot. The best sequence of interruptions that I've seen is using the formula to synchro and then chaining the Flame Burst to summon out. And you're synchroing with here and here. That makes your Baron. This is going to trigger the Flame Bridge to summon out. So then you're going to summon Oak and Ash. And you can do Chainlink 1 Oak, Chainlink 2 Ash. And by this point, hopefully you've already used your Savage Negate for all of your disruptions to play out perfectly. Because if you've already used your Savage Negate, what you do is you chain IP, and you link with your Savage, the IP, the Oak, and the Ash into a 4 Appaloosa. So this will have 3200 attack. Then you'll send this to the graveyard, you'll resolve the chain as you have done it earlier. You're going to get your Ash effect to search for another Snake Eye Ash, because for some reason this card can search itself. You're going to get the Oak effect to summon back the banished Jet Synchron, that way you have it in rotation. So that way you have the Appaloosa to protect itself, or the Appaloosa with 4 disruptions, the Baron Negate. You can then Linkuriboh Tribute the Jet Synchron if you want. That way you can have protection for your Appaloosa, so you do have protection for it. Or you have diversity, and you can end up popping your Jet Synchron to resolve the Promethean effect. That's probably the best way to resolve the disruptions here. This board ends up being like upwards of 9-10 disruptions if everything goes according to plan. But there's a lot of flexibility in it. IP into SP is also a very powerful option instead of going straight for Appo. Because then you also have the ability to go SP effect and banish itself and Baron. And that's just instantly game on the crackback. That's the 2-card combo. Finally, it's time for the cool combo with Lullaby Obedience. I did want to give a shout out to Pack before I show this combo off. He did come up with this combo, but I wanted to show it off. That way there's a little bit more spreading of information. You start this combo off with activating Lullaby, declaring Snake Eye Ash. It's really important that you call Snake Eye Ash here just because it's the best starter. Your opponent's probably going to add it to your hand, but whether they add it to your hand or special summon it, doesn't matter. If you put it in your hand, you're just going to normal summon Snake Eye Ash and activate the effect. So you start off the same as almost every combo. You activate Snake Eye Ash, get Poplar, use Poplar's effect to summon itself, and then Poplar effect to go ahead and add. and that puts the Divine Temple of the Snake Eye in your hand. You then go Wanted effect to add, and this combo does use a little bit of your hand resources, but it provides a little bit more to the board, so in my opinion, I think it's worth it if you open Wanted. If you don't open Wanted, I tend to just go for the normal combo, the one that was in the last one right before this. It just provides basically the same amount of stuff, but it keeps cards in hand, right? However, this combo does do a lot, so it's important to know. So you're going to summon the Diabell Star, send the random hand trap from your hand, or random card, doesn't really matter, and you're going to set original. Then we link away Poplar into Linkuriboh and activate original to send Linkuriboh and summon Jet Synchron. Divine Temple puts Oak. This is how you play around things. You can do this a little bit earlier if you want to. This plays around Nib if you do it earlier, but I had already done the replay and I'm not going to redo it. So you probably do this right after you add it to place Oak, because that's what you're going to place either way. Anyways, after you have Jet and the Diabell Star, you're going to Synchro into Savage and use the effect to place Linkuriboh. Very important to keep in mind, we haven't used the effect of Poplar, we just linked it away. But then we go activate Ash, send itself in the Oak, and then use Jet Synchron, discard another card from our hand. Real simple from here, we go Link 2 into IP, trigger Flame Verge to summon out the Oak and Poplar, using Oak to summon back the banished Jet. This keeps your cards in rotation, really could function here. Then we go Promethean, summon out Flame Verge to place IP in the Spell Trap zone. Then we can link away the Flame Verge. This combo is a really nice way of getting back to Flame Verge on the import without having to keep the body there the whole time, which is great. We're going to go to Hida now, so that we can Hida take the Snake Eye Ash. One of the cool aspects of Lullaby is being able to use Charmers on turn 0, and even like Promethean them and Zealantis them on turn 1 if that's what you're wanting to do. So we're going to Hida take the Snake Eye Ash, and then now that we have a Spellcaster, we're going to link into Selene. Selene is going to gain 6 counters because of the 3 spells on our field and the 3 spells in our graveyard. Then we go Selene effect to remove 3 of them, summon out Diabell Star, and then we're going to make Appaloosa for 1600 attack, and then we're going to Synchro into Formula. Now this Chainlink here is important. We go Chainlink 1 Formula, and Chainlink to this Poplar that we have never used. That's going to put Flame Verge back in our Spell Trap zone. So we're going to get a draw off the Formula. Then if we start with Wanted, we're going to put back the original, get a draw for Imperm, because we're the best, and that's how this combo ends. You have Field Spell to summon out Flame Verge, then you have Flame Verge to summon out the IP, so you still have that line of disruption. You have Savage Negate, you have Formula Synchro with either the Savage or the Flame Verge, whatever you feel like doing, into a Baron. You have Flame Verge to summon back 2 guys, you have Promethean to pop whatever you need to, you have Appaloosa, you have the Linkuriboh in the Spell and Trap zone, that's where it is. This will go to the graveyard later. When you either link with it or synchro with it. But you do have Linkuriboh in rotation, which is important, because that's how you're going to keep this Appaloosa alive. If they start with like Summon Fenrir Battle Phase, you just let it happen, to be honest. Summon Fenrir Battle Phase, they're either going to punch one of these guys, and they have to deal with the rest of the board in main phase 2, or they're going to lose, right? Summon Fenrir Battle Phase isn't enough to trade with all the disruptions, which just ends up making it lose. But this is the coolest combo in the deck. Other than that, I did want to show off the deck list one more time. This is the same deck list I played for Houston, but I did want to show it off. I think there's a few things that I would change in this deck, specifically adding Lightning Storm and Harpies to the side deck. I think that in this format, having Lightning Storm in the side deck is really important for countering Summon Limit. It provides a lot of board breaking ability into not just that deck, but into decks like Kishira and Floowandereeze, they're getting very popular at regionals, and having something in the side deck to counter them is very important. So I'd be putting these cards in my side deck for the future, but this is still a deck that I managed to top 3 regionals in a row within 8 days, and I would highly recommend it. I think this is the best deck right now, and honestly, if you're not playing Fire, I think you're just misplaying. The Fire is best deck. And that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and you guys have a great night.